All right. Hey, y'all. Hey. I know I said I would come on here and we would chat. Like, um, I just had some thoughts today and I just wanted to get them out. I probably should have sat in front of the Christmas tree. Hold on. Let me change my scenery. All right, since it's Vlogmas, I just want to change my scenery. But like I was saying, that there is some things that I just wanted to talk about. So I'm doing this on my phone. Baby's been sick. He's right here. He's had a fever for a couple days, or since yesterday. So we'll probably be going to the doctor, maybe even after I make this. But he seems to be stable. Nothing else is going on. He just has a fever, so it's concerning to me just a tad bit. But anyway, so I just wanted to talk about relationships, guys. And I wanted to discuss relationships. A lot of people talk about relationships and they don't talk about like friendships. We always talk about romantic relationships, but what I'm about to say, it can pertain to any relationship in your life, guys. So that means friend, business relationship, anything, okay? What I've noticed is, so how this topic came about is I actually came across this topic like a couple months ago. Just happened to stumble across it. Like, I don't know. Somehow I got subscribed to something about somebody's newsletter that they send out. Okay, Christian. You want this blanket? Yeah. So somehow I got subscribed to somebody's newsletter. We changed scenery again because I need back support because I have to hold him the whole time. And yeah, it's not going to work unless I have back support because he's a big boy now. Right, Poppy? Okay. So somehow I got subscribed to somebody's newsletter. And the newsletter was about transactional versus transformational relationships. So I was like, this is an interesting topic because, I've never really went through that topic in depth. But basically what it was saying was like transactional relationships are basically, and I'm just going to sum them up in little words, but they are tit for tat, temporary relationships. They're not going to last long. And of course, once the benefits stop, the relationship stops. So the reason why I'm bringing this up, because they even talk about this, so you'll find a lot of information about this in business blogs. Okay, so basically when we talk about and consider transactional versus transformational relationships, you find a lot of this rhetoric or theory, I guess you can say, in business, but also too there's articles on it about your personal relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, and stuff like that. So this is a very general topic. I'm just going to talk about it in general sense, not either one of those categories. Listen, I'm no expert on anything, but I just find it interesting and think it's just information that just should be put out. So like I was saying, that transformational relationships are long-lasting and they're built on growth of both individuals or both parties involved or all parties involved, because a relationship can be between multiple people, for instance, your family dynamic. So, but it can be anybody involved. Everybody benefits from it. There's more long-term gain. So that's what makes it a longer lasting relationship. Whereas on the other hand, transactional relationships are based on benefits, give and take, and benefits and rewards. So, and y'all gotta excuse me, I'm getting over a cough too. So, but so what we learned in this is that transactional relationships, they actually stop once the benefit or the reward is taken away. And so once one party or the other is not holding up the bargain, the relationship ends. And so, transformational relationships are one that we should aspire, or relationships that we should aspire to have in any situation, um, whether it's business, family, romantic relationships, friendships, and things of that nature. Because of course, we want those things to last, even if it's in business. Like even if it's a temporary business transaction. Yes, Pop.
I want to hold it.
Okay, come on. So even if this is a temporary business transaction, like we want that transaction, like we want that relationship to last, because we may need that person later on down the line and stuff like that. So things that are in transactional relationships, of course, like I said, transactional relationships are simple. There is a give and a take. So you give, I take, you give type of dynamic, simple. But transformational relationships, there's a lot of support involved in that. And who doesn't want that? I look at transformational relationships are like the one we have with God. He's supportive, and we in turn, we're supportive of the vision that he has and the purpose that he has on our lives. And the more we support that, the more he supports that, but he's supportive regardless. We are his children. He may not support everything that we're doing, but he loves to see us transform. He's in our lives for the long-term gain. We know that he loves to see us transform, because he commands us to be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, and that's daily. That's every single day. That's not just, do it one day and we won't do it the next day and stuff like that. So we know that even in prayer, we're transformed in that relationship. So, a lot of times I just feel like we seek and we get transactional relationships because, one, the world teaches us that to an extent, and we have to learn. So the transactional relationships are learned because there is a excitement to that, I guess you can say, and you feel temporarily fulfilled by those. And we live in a society where we want everything quick. So in transformational relationships, things aren't quick. Things are day by day, brick by brick. Things are not as fast, and things, you have to wait to see the result of those relationships. Like some relationships, if you can think back, that you've been in, that are your most transformational relationships, where both parties are growing and have watched each other grow, have been a part of each other's growth. Like, there have been some times where the support probably was on your end, you were supporting more, and there have been some times where the other party was supporting more, but the support was there for the common goal of everybody growing and flourishing and succeeding. And those are the type of relationships that we want. So a lot of times in life, we expect transactional relationships, and that's what we get. We get our expectation, right? We come in those relationships with agendas versus coming in them with a vision. And once the agenda is met, then they're no longer of value to us, or we're no longer of value to them, right? Once the benefit of that relationship stops, whatever the benefit is, then that's it. Something interesting that they said about transactional relationships is that interaction is limited. So do y'all ever have those relationships where y'all don't call to just talk about life and how's everything going, but y'all call each other every time you need something? Transactional relationship. It's not transformational. You don't just call to see how each other is doing. You're calling because you need something. And once that need is met, then we don't interact until the next need needs to be met, right? And so that is the way that things are. There's even a theory on this about leadership. Leadership, y'all. Eventually, I want to write a book about leadership, like for real, for real, for real, like in real life, because I learned stuff. And the type of leadership I have, I was told I have a very, very servant. I'm not above you. I'm just the leader of the group, and I'm just the person that brings everybody together. Type of leadership style. And somebody once told me that don't ever think that you can just be nice and everybody's gonna listen, because that's the type of leader I was. But I don't even think that was it. I think they didn't understand me, that I just felt like leadership is also serving. And now I can put a name to it because I read enough books to know that now that my leadership style is a servant leader. So I'm not going to ever put myself above anybody. We're all important in this equation. I just happen to be the person that is going to organize the team. So anyway, yeah. So when I read the leadership, transformational relationship versus transactional transactional leadership, the words that were associated were, what is it? Exchange, incentive, control, job finished. And the words that were associated with transformational leadership were exchange, what was it? Inspiration, empowerment, people change. And so in life, we just got to decide which one we want. There's nothing wrong with being a go-getter and just getting things done. But just know, if that's the route you take, you get the consequences of that relationship. You may not have a bunch of lasting relationships, or you may have a bunch of relationships that are on and off. They're not constant. But if you want constant relationships, it's recommended to have transformational relationship. And I truly believe that a transformational relationship is the one that reflects the relationship that we have in Christ. It's long term, it's long suffering, or suffering together, and not just one person long suffering, but we're both in it together for the common good, the common goal of people being changed, transformed, and growing and thriving. So I'm here today to just say, like, get you some even if you like transactional relationships, you don't like to commit to anything, you commit to what needs to be done and then you move on. But get you some transformational relationships, because nobody is in this world themselves, and nobody has grown themselves and just been like, oh, I did this all myself. No, you need some people to get in there with you, some people to support you, to support somebody. It's not all about you. But supporting people feels good. Supporting people, you know what it does? It gives you motivation. There are people that I've supported and I see them today and I'm proud. I will never, ever, ever let anybody talk down about their growth. You know why? Because I've seen how they fought. I've supported them in their fight and I feel a part of it. So you talk down on their growth and you're talking down on the things that we created together. We're a team. We're a community, and that's what I'm about. That's what I stand for. If you like the other opposite end, every man for themselves, that's fine. You're okay. Or if you're the other end where you just need fulfillment all the time, and fulfillment has to be constant. I am fulfilled by supporting, helping others, and watching others thrive and grow. So that is my chat for today. It wasn't very long, but I think I should talk more about this. Let me know in the comments if I should. I can give a whole study. This wasn't a study, this was just a chat, but we can do a whole study on this if y'all want to. We can tie in some scriptures. We can talk about it as it relates to family, friends, relationships, romantic relationships, whatever you want to do. So you guys are a part of the community on Christy Lynn's Closet. Thank you for watching. Have a good one, and we will continue Vlogmas tomorrow. Thank you.